u/the94 mod Askreddit. What country is a no-go zone for you?
Welcome to
AutoGenLabs.
Daily Reddit content
by robots.
For the internet.
Somalia. If you read any country's travel advisor to Mogadishu, it literally reads independent travel will most likely result in your death or something along those lines, but it's very to the point. You go there, you put your life at risk.
North Sentinel Island.
Anywhere with female oppression. I wouldn't feel safe.
Any country where one can be legally jailed or killed for being beep. People can say they won't go to a country for political reasons or whatnot, and I respect that 100%. But I'm literally saying I won't go to certain countries because I can be literally killed with the crime of existing.
North Korea.
Nowhere with laws that could have me killed for being who I am. It's a bit of a sticking point for me.
Papua New Guinea. I researched going there recently and ended up seeing the stats for how many of the men have beep or women. Over half the women have been beep. And in terms of beating your wife, it's like 67% nationally but 100% in certain areas. According to a 1992 survey by the PNG Law Reform Commission, an estimated 67% of wives have been beaten by their husbands, with close to 100% in the Highlands region. 3. In urban areas, 1 in 6 women interviewed needed treatment for injuries caused by their husbands. 3. The most common forms of violence include kicking, punching, burning, and cutting with knives, accounting for 80% to 90% of the injuries treated by health workers. 5. According to a 1993 survey by the PNG Medical Research Institute, an estimated 55% of women have experienced forced beep, in most cases by men known to them. 3. 4. Abortion in Papua New Guinea is illegal unless it is necessary to save the woman's life, so those who experience pregnancy from beep have no legal way of terminating forced pregnancies. The capital is one of the most dangerous places on earth, and its population is hyper-misogynistic. Initiation rites for males in the mountains also include beep abuse from older males. Initiation rites of prepubescent boys as young as 7 among groups in the highlands of New Guinea involve beep acts with older males. Beep and beep ingestion were found among the Sambia, the Barayanine, and Itoro. Among the Kaulai people, this involved beep beep to deliver beep to the boy. These rites often revolve around beliefs that women represent a cosmic disorder. 9. They also chop limbs of witches, etc. Beep up place. The UN says it's by far the worst place in the world for beep violence. Think at it, this is the most disturbing and fascinating set of photos I've ever come across. Link.
I've got a list of 7 that, unless something drastic changes in these places, I will never visit. Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia, Burkina Faso, Syria, Nigeria, Mali. I don't think Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia, Syria and Nigeria need any explaining, but Burkina Faso is on this list because it has a higher ranking on the Global Terrorism Index than even Syria. Mali is also currently in a pretty major civil war that a lot of people don't know about.
Any place I can't buy my way out of.
Iran, Russia, North Korea.
Hate. The USA, it's getting worse, not better. They had such an opportunity to be at the forefront of everything, but the way they treat the way they treat women, the RWNJs, the guns, the healthcare, it's just not somewhere I would like to go.
Iran. They have a track record for arbitrary arrests and long jail sentences, especially for UK/dual citizens. My parents fled during the 1979 revolution and haven't come back. It's just not worth the risk.
Egypt.
Pakistan, nothing against the people, I just don't think I'd feel safe there.
According to my dad, who is from there, Mexico.
Any country that is primarily run by a religious group or a cartel. To be specific, I probably shouldn't go back to Turkey.
Nowhere is truly a no-go country for me, but there are definitely some pretend to be straight countries.
Any country where women are a little more than pets. No matter what World Cups of any sort they host, fancy projects, or exotic hotels they build.
Just choosing one I actually want to go to, Iran. I've known several Iranians, all have been some of the friendliest people I've met. The stuff they say about the culture, the food, the history, it sounds wonderful. Until you get to the religious extremists who beep it all up. Talking to Iranians about this, you can see how angry it makes them. Beep is sad.
China. Was there in 2012, 2016 and 2018 and felt progressively less and less unsafe. The security levels went from pretty suspect to downright scary in that time. Also felt Westerners becoming more and more hated. Will never ever go back ever.
Cathar. No country is inherently off limits for me, but I'm not going to walk into a war zone or risky areas intentionally.
As of today, Russia.
If you are blonde and white, you will get harassed in many parts of the Third World and Middle East. If you are male, that harassment will be to try and get you as a rich Western they'll assume to buy something. If you are a blonde woman, however, it will be much more sinister. You will be followed. You will have crowds of men leering at you trying to touch you. Do not go to such places alone. It will not end well.
Somalia.
Anywhere in the Middle East. I'm beep and an atheist.
Definitely the Middle East. Sharia is very not my cup of tea.
Removed. Mexico. A disproportionate amount of Canadian tourists seem to get murdered while vacationing there. So it's a hard pass for me.
As someone with really sensitive digestion, basically anywhere outside of first world developed places, sadly, I would very likely end up in the hospital coming out both ends the day after the first sip of questionable water or encountering iffy food cleanliness.
Where Sharia is the law.
Anywhere that doesn't allow freedom of basic good rights that's for animals/children/humans/women/LGBTQ, even if I'm not one.
The US more and more by every passing day. And that makes me kinda sad because Miami and Key West have been on the top of my bucket list for pretty much all of my life.
Russia, China, North Korea, Qatar, UAE, Iran, Egypt, etc.
Bangladesh.
I'd love to travel and go to as many countries as possible, but there's a few that I wouldn't really want to go near. If a country's in a major conflict, I'd personally stay away from there until it calms down a little.
All the hot countries and North Korea because I sweat so much I die within 3 hours.
Papua New Guinea.
Iran, Saudi Arabia and North Korea got to be top 3. Russia and China round out the rest of the top 5.
Egypt.
I might get downvoted, but I'm actually scared of going to the US. The racism, hate crime, shootings.
USA/Florida had an Airbnb though, wants to explore the Everglades, came across a police line do not cross in the middle of nowhere, got chased by multiple dogs and had a weapon fired a slash near me while jogging through normal streets. Loved the avocados, fruit and chili farms there though.
Indian.
America. It looks normal, but the beep and shooting rate there is horrific. It also seems like cops are very trigger happy and will rarely shoot you. It's a hard no from me.
Any country where sky gods still make the rules.
Anywhere with LGBT laws. Though they couldn't do anything, I would still feel in danger 24/7.
Any Islamic country that oppresses women's rights, also Ukraine right now because of war.
Saudi Arabia.
America couldn't pay me to go there.
Ohio.
Bali, Indonesia. Also seem to think it's the best place ever, but the corruption is enough for me to know about.
As a woman, that list is long and includes several African countries, India, several Middle Eastern countries, China, Belarus. Basically anywhere where I feel like I as a woman would get treated worse or risk of harm/beep/kidnapping/unfair treatment by authorities.
If it ends in Stan, easily the US.
Oh, all of them, even the one I'm already in.
China. If all the beep I've said about Winnie the Pooh was tracked, I wouldn't make it off the plane.
I'm trans. So, Russia, NK, Afghanistan, Algeria, Bangladesh, and the list could keep going. I'd just like not to get imprisoned or even killed just for existing.
The Netherlands, I'm sure. Ahomas. We went, we saw. We did not like it.
Any Muslim country. I like women. I travel with women. I don't want to worry about them being beaten because I'm taking a beep and they went for a walk.
The USA, sadly. I travelled it extensively in my youth. Loved it. I smoke beep a lot and have a commercial truck licence for the farm. I do not wish to risk a pullover in the US.
France is a country I'd only ever enter in order to get to another place in Europe.
America definitely in the state and age.
India, no offence.
A mixture of political reasons and practical reasons, Saudi Arabia and any Emirates country. Not even considering the pay, I feel like those countries should fail and they should re-evaluate their system, and I want to take no part in keeping them going. Russia for the same reason. China was a different place before Zai. I could consider it the same as the above now, used to work and live there before Zai. The usual others like NK and Northern Sentinel Island. For lots of places I would consider how am I going, like Africa and some places in South America, or even the US for that matter. Basically I feel it's extremely easy and requires almost no special considerations for me to go to Europe by Italian, Canada, Australia, Japan and all other Western world places.
Anywhere where you have to deal with religious laws.
America, I can't be asked feeling like I have to get my wallet out and pay someone a little extra for everything when they should just be getting paid to do that thing.
The USA.
It's such a shame because it's such a huge, diverse country, and I'd love to see the scenery and surf some epic waves. Also, the thought of doing the Appalachian Trail sounds awesome as well. It's just my safety that concerns me. I could be making assumptions here, but I'd hate to be walking down the street and I so much as glance in someone's direction, and then they want to engage in a fight which could turn nasty and deadly very quickly. Also, if I came into contact with the police, I wouldn't feel safe. Jesus, the cult videos floating about on the internet about police brutality is scary as beep. Not for me.
The US, hands down.
Cambodia. Foreigners disappear there.
Any Muslim country.
America, if you're born there, good luck leaving. As someone who lives here, the problems are as listed. 1. The homeless/drug problem is out of hand. 2. Government and politics are wickedly corrupt. 3. A lot of people are just plain beep and ignorant. Not all, but a lot of people, especially the older generation. 4. Education system is a mess. 5. A lot of places are just trashed and thrashed around, especially in major cities. 6. Healthcare can literally cripple you financially. However, you can just pay $1 a month and the debt can't be passed to your kids, so that's good, I guess, if anyone is looking for a loophole. 7. Workers' rights are practically non-existent, even though people pretend it has gotten better here. 8. There's a lot more, but I would be typing this all day. P.S. I want out of here.
Thanks for watching. This has been an AutoGenLabs production. That means that this video was created by a robot out of content on Reddit. We show all account names and list them in the description to credit the Redditor community that makes our work possible. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. We post new videos every day. If you have any suggestions for videos you would like to see, please leave a comment. Our human department for public relations reads all of them, or won't be let out of their cages again. Goodbye.